Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Listen carefully to the end, because at the end of this video, I will make a special invocation, a profound prayer intended for you who are watching, so that this July 5th marks the beginning of a change that only Allah can order in your life. What you are about to hear is not a coincidence. This is not just another video that you randomly put on. It is a divine call, a reminder that has fallen like a drop of light into your daily life. If your heart beats faster now, it is because it recognizes Allah's call. This day, this July 5th, is not like any other. It is written. It is engraved. It is meant to signal a turning point, an awakening, an elevation. You've gone through sleepless nights, silent days, when no one understood what you carried inside. You prayed without an answer, you cried silently. You kept going, even when your soul was weary. And now Allah, in His infinite wisdom, chose this moment, this day, to place something new upon you. A promise, a liberation, a reconstruction. Do not underestimate what you are experiencing now. Every silence you have endured has been heard. Every tear you have shed has been counted. And today is the moment when heaven answers. You know, sometimes Allah doesn't change our exterior immediately. He begins by transforming our outlook, our inner strength, our way of hoping. He doesn't give you everything at once because He loves you too much to let you lose yourself in structureless abundance. That's why this new beginning begins slowly, but it really begins. A different energy already surrounds you. Maybe you don't see it yet, but your soul feels it. Something inside you is stirring. It's the heart recognizing that Allah's decree is near, very near. And it won't be like the others. It won't be a simple improvement. It will be a transformation. Imagine a dry, burning, barren desert. No one believes it. No one notices it. And suddenly, rain. An unexpected rain, but perfectly measured. And from this hard ground, from this cracked earth, a flower springs forth. Proof that even the most forgotten places can come alive again under the command of Allah. You too are this desert. You are this land. And today, rain falls on you. Not ordinary rain. A rain of mercy, of guidance, of answers. It falls silently, but it prepares an invisible revolution. This July 5th is a divine invitation to be reborn, to leave behind the old version of yourself. Not because it was bad, but because it has fulfilled its mission. What you were protected you, taught you, built you. But what you will become will inspire, guide, and transform. Do not minimize the weight of this date. It does not come as a simple number. It comes as a word spoken in the invisible world. It is an order given to the angels. It is a signal sent to your soul. And if you feel this vibration now, know that you are not imagining it. You are answering a call that many hear, but few are willing to listen to. You are listening, and that is why you were chosen. You had to go through this darkness, even if no one understood, even if you yourself doubted it. Allah knew exactly what He was doing. It wasn't an oversight. It wasn't a mistake. It was a heavenly strategy. You were removed from certain people, certain places, certain paths, not to punish you, but to protect you. You may have been led to believe that your silence was a weakness, that your absence was a loss, that your erasure was a failure. But in reality, you were in a cocoon, an invisible place where Allah shapes His chosen ones far from the noise of the world. You walked with a heavy heart, tangled thoughts, repeated prayers with no apparent return. You may have looked to the sky, wondering if anyone up there was still listening to you. You saw others moving forward while you seemed to stagnate. Others were acclaimed while your name remained unknown. But what you didn't know was that while you thought you were being ignored, Allah was writing the most powerful lines of your story. Every silence in your life was a verse under construction. Every wait, a wisdom to mature. Every refusal, a protection. Just because it was long didn't mean it was useless. Just because it was sacred, it was slow. Allah takes His time with those He loves. He does not rush greatness. He polishes it. He forges it. He purifies it. You were not left behind. You were in the divine workshop, where they mold not ordinary people, but souls destined to carry something greater than their own lives. And today, this July 5th, you do not emerge as a mere survivor of your past. You rise as a sign, a living reminder that pain is not the opposite of blessing, but often its prelude. You may be wondering, why now? Why after so many months, even years? Because you had to be ready, internally. Not ready to receive, ready to bear. There is a difference. Many desire Allah's blessings, but few are able to bear them without losing their way. And you have been tested precisely to be able to receive without losing your way. Able to grow without boasting. Able to elevate without crushing. Allah tested you to prepare you to be a refuge for others, a channel of His light. So no longer look at your past pain with disgust. Look at it as proof that you were worthy of being worked on by Allah. And today, that work is bearing fruit. Slowly perhaps, silently surely, but deeply. For the strongest roots make no noise when they grow. And now they are ready to break the surface. There are days when everything changes, yet nothing appears different to the world. Seemingly ordinary days that, in the invisible world, mark an eternal turning point. This July 5th is one of those days. It is different. It was not placed in the calendar at random. It was decreed, marked in the book of Allah long before you came into the world. This day is the answer to prayers you may have forgotten, to tears shed in secret, to frustrations you have silently swallowed. And now, Allah says, it is time. Yes, He has spoken. The decree has fallen. The angels have received the order. The invisible chains around you begin to break, without a crash, without a sound. You don't yet understand why you feel this inner turmoil, this silent foreboding, this strange peace mixed with anticipation. But it's because your soul knows. It knows that something is coming, something the world cannot take away from you. For it is not the world that gives it to you, it is Allah. And when He gives, no one can withhold. When He decides, nothing can prevent. You have walked for a long time in the darkness, searching for direction, sometimes stumbling. But today, you no longer need to search. The path comes to you. It is not an illusion, it is not a dream, it is a divine alignment. All the things that seem separate begin to connect. The whys receive answers. The delays take on meaning, the pains become keys. And you finally understand, everything was for now. Everything was preparing you for this day. This July 5th is not the end of your trials, but it is the end of God's silence. From now on, He speaks through signs, through sudden openings, through unexpected encounters, through this very video. Nothing is accidental when Allah decides. And what He has decided for you today is weighty, precious, and great. You have not merely entered a new phase of your life. You have entered your true season. The one where you stop surviving and start carrying. The one where you no longer run away, but move forward with quiet strength. The one where you no longer simply ask to be saved, but to be used. You have not been left behind. You have been hidden, like a jewel buried beneath the earth, not forgotten, but preserved. And now, Allah reveals you. He elevates you, not for the light of the world, but for the light of heaven. Perhaps you don't feel ready. Perhaps you think you don't deserve this elevation. But remember, Allah does not choose those who feel capable. He empowers those He chooses. And you are one of those chosen ones. Those who are not always understood. Those who sometimes cause inconvenience. Those who shine in the shadows. Those whose name is mentioned in the heavens, but is unknown on earth. And today, the heavens have spoken in your favor. You no longer have to run after what flees. You no longer have to knock on doors that close. For today, Allah opens for you a door that no one can close. Not because you are better, but because He has purified you. Not because you have done everything right, but because He has planned everything well. And this new season begins with a silent promise from Him. I am with you. Do not fear. Go forward. And your heart already knows it. It feels it, even if it cannot yet explain it. This July 5th is your appointment, your mirage, your inner ascension. Why now? Why this July 5th and not last year or even yesterday? Why has Allah chosen to make your heart blossom at this precise moment after such a long wait? These are not idle questions. They are sacred questions. And the answer is as sweet as it is powerful, because He loves you. He didn't want to give you too soon what you weren't yet ready to carry. He didn't want to see your soul stumble under the weight of a gift that your still fragile heart wouldn't have been able to preserve. You were not forgotten. You were in gestation. In the silence of your nights, in the length of your trials, Allah was shaping your depths. You were not ignored. You were being built. Divine wisdom never rushes. It takes the time to bring forth something pure, unbreakable, eternal. What you felt were delays were actually protective walls. Allah was not closing the doors against you. He was simply keeping them locked until your heart was ready to enter without being lost. Remember Musa, peace be upon him. He was raised in Pharaoh's palace, torn from his mother, exiled, rejected, and then called back. When Allah chose him for his mission, he had already been broken, rebuilt, purified. Everything had meaning. Every step, every silence, every wait was a necessary chapter in his elevation. And you, like Musa, were not on pause. You were in process, in divine immersion. Allah was writing in you a stability that no one could shake. He was laying invisible foundations. And today, He says, this is the time. That's why this July 5th arrives with a strange peace. You may not see anything spectacular around you, but you feel an inner rupture, as if a veil were falling, as if a lock were opening silently. You don't know how to explain it, but you know that you are no longer the same person you were yesterday. This is the mark of Allah. He transforms silently. He elevates without warning. He grants without spectacle. And suddenly, you are no longer waiting. You are receiving. But don't think this reception is only material. No. What you receive first is a new vision, a clarity, a reorientation. You see better what weighs you down. You sense what you must leave behind. You discern what must remain. On this July 5th, Allah did not simply change your destiny. He sharpened your lucidity. For when Allah decides to open a new season, He always begins by giving you a new perspective. And this perspective now sees what you did not see. The blessings hidden in waiting. The strengths developed in wounds. The signs placed in silence. So do not envy those who have been given before you. Their season was not yours. Their path did not contain the treasures Allah wanted to grant you. He set you apart for something different. And because it is different, it requires a different rhythm. Allah slowed down the process to deepen your impact. He prepared you slowly because your fruit was to last. He formed you in the shadows because your light today must shine without flickering. So this July 5th is more than a date. It is a celestial code, a signal that your name has been called, that the decree has been lifted, that what was suspended in the heavens now descends to you by the permission of your Lord. And this is only the beginning. For what Allah begins, He always ends beautifully. You may not have realized it yet, but the signs are already there. Discreet, silent, but real. There is this unusual peace in your heart, this calm that does not come from you. As if something, or rather someone, has freed you from an invisible weight. It is the mercy of Allah that begins to flow gently on your path. You have not yet received everything, but you are no longer in the void. You are in the dawn. And dawn is the promise that the sun is already on its way. Look around you. They may not be great miracles visible to others, but they are glimpses of light that only your heart can perceive. A person who suddenly reappears in your life with the right word. A message you hear that comes at the right time. A problem that seemed stuck for months is resolved without logical explanation. This is not by chance. It is Allah. It is He who sends the signs to confirm that the page is turning. And inside you, something is changing too. Your way of reacting is no longer the same. You no longer panic like before. You no longer despair so quickly. Your heart has learned to remain standing, even when the walls tremble. It's not because you've become insensitive. It's because Allah has strengthened you from within. He has given you an invisible shield. He has taught you to see with the eyes of faith, not just those of logic. And now that faith is beginning to bear fruit, slowly but surely. You may also be noticing that doors you thought were closed are opening. Not dramatically, but smoothly, naturally, almost imperceptibly. Hearts that were cold toward you are becoming more receptive. Opportunities you no longer dared to hope for are coming back to knock on your door. And above all, there is that inner voice, stronger, more stable, telling you, keep going. You are on the right path. It is Allah who directs you, who guides you silently, like the wind pushing a boat toward its destination without anyone seeing it. You may feel a sudden urge to do good, to draw closer to prayer, to read the Quran, to give in secret. These are divine impulses. They are not your ideas, they are invitations. Allah draws you to Himself through impulses of sincerity. For He knows that you are ready. And now that He reveals you, He also wants to elevate you. Not so that you will be acclaimed, but so that you will be useful. Not so that you will be seen, but so that you will see better. The world around you doesn't necessarily understand what's happening to you. And that's normal. It's not their path. It's yours. Some will even think that nothing has changed. But they don't see that your heart no longer beats to the same rhythm. It beats to the rhythm of Allah's decree. You no longer react the same way. You no longer speak the same way. Because you are no longer the same person. And this change is the greatest proof that the process has begun. And there's something else. A detail you can't ignore. A peace. A strange peace. A peace that has no explanation. You should have been worried. You should have been afraid, but you no longer feel that fear. Instead, you feel a stability, a soft light, an inner strength. It's the clearest sign that your soul has been touched. Not by words, not by people, but by Allah Himself. This July 5th didn't come with fireworks. It came with subtle proofs. And that's how Allah works. He doesn't strike, He caresses. He doesn't shout. He whispers truths to your soul that only you can hear. And today, if you listen carefully, you know your time has come. You have come this far. And if your heart is still open to these words, it is because something powerful has resonated within you. It is not just a listening. It is a response. You have answered a call that many ignore. And this response will not be in vain. It will bear fruit, for nothing that begins with Allah ends in a vacuum. You have passed through waiting, apparent oblivion, the silent night. And now, you enter the morning. Not an ordinary morning. An inner, eternal morning, in which your light takes its place, the one that Allah has always wanted for you. You were not trained to follow. You were trained to carry, to lead, to open paths where others saw only walls. You may have been rejected, misunderstood, belittled. But Allah saw what no one saw. He saw the endurance in your silence. He saw the faith behind your doubts. He saw the purity of your intention, even when your gestures were clumsy. And today, He has decided. He has decided that you are ready. Ready to receive, but also ready to give. Ready to be transformed, but also to become an instrument of transformation. This July 5th is not a date you will look back on like any other. It is a celestial memory, a turning point, an act of mercy that you may not understand until much later. But today, in this hour, Allah has targeted you. He has set His gaze upon you, and nothing will ever be the same again. For even if the exterior remains the same, the interior has changed. And it is the interior that the world cannot steal. It is the interior that Shaitan cannot reach when Allah resides within it. You no longer walk alone. You no longer doubt as before. You no longer shout into the void. You move forward with a new certainty. My Lord has never abandoned me. And this certainty is a light, an armor, an invitation to live differently, to think differently, to pray differently. You were sculpted by patience. Now you are clothed in wisdom. And this wisdom does not come from books, it comes from the fire you have walked through, and which you have extinguished, not by your own strength, but by the hand of Allah. So lift up your heart, breathe in this new season, and welcome this prayer as an offering, a dua gently placed on your path. May your soul hear it, may your heart feel it, may your destiny receive it. O Allah, You who see what no one sees, You who read our hearts as if they were an open book, I ask You for this listening soul, a total renewal. Ya Allah, this July 5th, send down upon her a light that no one can extinguish. Free her from invisible chains. Heal the wounds she hides. Purify the doubts she dares not express. Ya Rahman, You the merciful, make this date the beginning of a blessed destiny. Open doors for her that she could never have imagined. Protect her from that which gnaws at the soul, from that which weakens faith, from that which steals peace. Make her a source for others, a voice of truth, a hand of support. Grant her barakah in little as in plenty. Fill her solitude with your presence, her prayers with your answer, and her heart with your light. Ya Rab, let it not be a mere video that moves her, but a heavenly decree that transforms her, and never let her return to what she was before this encounter with you. Ameen. And now, walk with this peace. Keep silence in your heart, for Allah has spoken, and when Allah speaks, everything aligns.